Hello, good evening. Welcome to Live and Conversation. My name is Daphnée Antoine with my lovely co-host.
I am Daphnée Camilien.
Hello, Miss Camilien, Mrs. Camilien. How you all doing this evening? Join us in this live and conversation. As you all know, we go live every Wednesday to share all things pertaining to current immigration news, resources for family and entrepreneurs to thrive. And this month, we've been focusing on home ownership and basically what it entails and how all of us can start creating wealth using real estate. So we do have an amazing lineup for you all tonight. So coming in, share, bring your question because we have experts who will be able to answer your questions for you. And as always, Attorney Camilien will start with a disclosure.
Sure. I am an attorney. Anything I say this evening is for information and entertainment purposes only. Any information I say does not enter myself and said person into any type of attorney-client relationship. Daphnée Renee, Antoine is a financial entrepreneur. Anything that she says this evening does not enter you and her into any type of fiduciary duty. The information that we talk about for us and our guests, includes is all for information and for entertainment purposes only. Back to you, Daphnée.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I already see some of you live with us. Thank you for joining. My sister said hello, sis. Thank you for joining. So yeah, say hello, leave a comment, ask a question because we are here to be of service to you as well as our guests. And at this time, we're going to have Attorney Camilien with the current immigration and legal segment.
Sure. This evening, I have a couple of different items to talk to you about. The first is really, really sad news. The U.S. and Mexican governments are investigating one of the deadliest human smuggling cases in U.S. history. And so it's the reports, I think this is about 2 days ago, are saying that about 51 people died. Migrants, they're believed to be, they were trapped in a tractor trailer that was abandoned in the outskirts of San Antonio, Texas. Texas is very hot. We are in June right now. Summer has begun. The heat index was more than 100 degrees. Inside of the heat index already was 100 degrees. So you can imagine inside of a car or inside of this tractor trailer, there was supposed to be some type of cooling system that was not working. So there's 51 people who lost their lives. There was at least 12 or 13 people that were found alive inside that were transported to the hospital. They're saying that the people who did pass away, they believe it's through heat stroke. And so what this whole case is about and what happened is basically it's believed that these people were being smuggled into the U.S. and that we don't know where they're from. Because so many people come through the Mexican-U.S. border, so they can be from anywhere in the world. And it hasn't been released. It was only released that 22 people were, some of them were from Central America and some of them were from Mexico. But the other, 29 people, they have not released where these people were from. So they could be from anywhere in the world. They go through that border. You have these smugglers that will smuggle them into the U.S. through cars, as you can see, through tractor, through like these huge tractors. And in this case, and they don't, unfortunately, obviously you see that there was no heating system. It's extremely hot in Texas, and these people lost their lives. So it's complete. This is the deadliest smuggling case and the largest in U.S. history, which is just a really sad day for migrants, for immigrants, for everyone who's just coming here for a better world, for a better, just a better life is what most people are coming here for, the opportunity to have a better life. So it's extremely sad. So that being said, the next immigration news that I do want to talk about is California. This is a little bit lighter. It's good news. California is going to become the first state to remove immigration barriers, like the immigration barrier to healthcare. So a lot of times, if people don't have money and are trying to get, healthcare like through the state, they ask them like what their immigration status is, and for most states, uh, all states basically, you cannot get benefits, medical benefits. There are exceptions, right? Pregnant people, kids, there's always exceptions for this, but for the majority of people, cannot get medical care. And so California is going to remove all of that by 2024. They're expected to provide full medical coverage to the people who are all like the low income people who cannot afford to pay for medical care. And so this is going to affect approximately 700,000 people. And this is for, they had already started providing medical care for like kids, like I told you, pregnant people, for people over the age of 50, and for people under the age of 26. This is for the people, this is the last group that they're going to give this is for low income undocumented people. They are going to provide medical care for them without asking for their immigration status. And this is for people between the ages of 26 and 49. It affects over 700,000 people in the state of California who are undocumented. So they will no longer be asking about their immigration status, and it will not, or if they ask, it will not affect their ability to get medical services in California. So that's good news, and we're hoping that other states will follow suit. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was TPS, temporary protected status. As we stated, I'm going to focus tonight on Haiti, but this pertains to what I'm going to say to for all the states, the countries, and there's a list. I think it's maybe 15 or 16 now, from Ukraine to South Sudan to Haiti to Cameroon. Those are some of the recent Nepal. Those are some of the recent countries that have been granted temporary protected status. And if people remember, temporary protected status is a special designation that the U.S. gives to certain people who are from certain countries, like I named. I'm adding Honduras, South Sudan, Haiti, Nepal. So if you are in the United States and you are from these countries and you no longer have status, or you don't have status, you can file for something called TPS, and it allows you to have temporary protected status while you're here, and and also the ability to work, because you will be given work authorization. But there are deadlines. So I'm focusing tonight on Haiti. Haiti's deadline for people who are in the United States, who are in the United States, who do not have status, and there's criteria for this. They should see if they're eligible to file for temporary protected status. The expiration is February 3rd, 2023. And you may say, well, that's about, excuse me, you may say that's about 7 months away. That is true. The expiration date is 7 months away. However, immigration is taking a very long time to approve these cases. So you need to go ahead and apply and get yourself in the running. Will it be renewed? Our hope is that it will be renewed, probably, but can't say for sure. But you need to be at least considered, and you should be approved. So you should start. It's taking 6, 7, 8 months to get approvals for people for TPS, and you want to be approved. You don't want to do this last minute. So I do recommend that people do it. And then if it's approved, and then let's say it's approved, then it's supposed to expire February 3rd. Well, more than likely, if and when TPS is extended, you will be a part of that group. However, if so we're not going to go any further than that, but we'll just say go ahead and get sign up for TPS if you're qualified, or if you're from a country that's offering TPS. See if you qualify, and then go ahead and apply. Back to you, Daphnée.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing all this amazing information with us. Obviously, one is not. So, hello again to all of you who are joining us live in conversation. I'm in conversation with Attorney Camilien, and we're also going to have some guests with us this evening. And so, if you are just joining us, Attorney Camilien just informed us of a tragedy that occurred in the Mexico-U.S. border with 51 people left dead due to smugglers or human trafficking. The second thing is that if you're in California and you or someone you know is undocumented, then California has recently stated that they will put a law that says that undocumented people, low income, can have access to medical care. Is that correct, Attorney Camilien?
Yep, you said 100% goes in effect January 1st, 2024.
Awesome, awesome. And last but not least, if you or someone you know need to get temporary protected status, Haiti has been declared as one of the country that is allowed to have temporary protected status. Do not delay. The deadline is February 3rd, you said?
Yep.
February 2023.
Yep.
Okay. And then so we encourage you to share this information with people you know. We encourage you to take advantage of this information. And Attorney Cameron is always here every Wednesday to answer any question that you may have. So take advantage of that. And if you may need her service, or if you know someone who needs her service, she can be reached at camelianlaw.com or 847-410-9022. 847-410-9022. Anything else you wanted to add or mention, Attorney Camilien?
No, that's it for this evening.
That's it for this evening. All right, all right. So with that being said, you all know this month is National Home Ownership Month, and we have been uh, taking this month to share information with respect to becoming a homeowner, bringing different experts in the profession who can help us navigate home ownership. Or if you have any question, or maybe you are considering becoming a homeowner and you do not know where to get started, well, this is the conversation for you. So bring your questions, share the live, and let us learn together. And then so it is my honor and privilege this evening, to introduce two lovely guests. One of them been with us before, but we wanted to bring her back to wrap up the month. And her name is Laurie Joseph. She is the owner of Haitian Realty and also creator of Real Estate Around Me coloring book for kids. So Mrs. Joseph's mission is to use her skill as a college professor and her knowledge in real estate working as a realtor to educate the Haitian diaspora on the importance of home ownership. And also, we have for the first time with us Ninekema Turenne. Ninekema, also known as Your Finance Bestie, is a Florida's leading mortgage broker with over a decade of experience in the mortgage industry. She has a bachelor in psychology and an MBA in business, and also the founder and CEO of Nat and Key, which is a wedding and financial planning company. So please welcome them with us this evening. Join the live, share the conversation. Hello, hello, ladies. Thank you for being with us. You guys are looking fabulous.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. You muted, Laurie. It's okay. I do this all the time.
Thank you so much for having me again. It is an absolute pleasure. And hi, Daphnée. Well, to Daphnée.
Daphne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Daphnée.
You have to say Antoine or Camilien. All right, all right. So how about I have you all introduce yourself again. I'm just gonna go by alphabetical order. Go ahead, Miss Joseph. Let us know who you are.
Hello, everybody. My name is Laurie Joseph. I am in Florida, and I am the owner of Haitian Realty. Haitian Realty, we have as main purpose to educate the Haitian diaspora on home ownership. And the main, it's we want to increase home ownership, and we think the best way is through education and through financial assistance. So if you're in the U.S., wherever you are, and you're thinking of purchasing a home, reach out to Haitian Realty. We'll connect you with the best professional in your area, and will help you, attend home ownership. And in my quest of doing that, I thought it would be great to start with the children. So I put together a coloring book for kids, for this summer. Get your kids, to do this activity. They can learn about real estate, get familiar with what exactly it is. It is a fun coloring activity that you can do and learn at the same time. So my whole goal is to increase Haitian home ownership, and that's gonna be the only goal that I will ever have, to increase that, because we are behind. Honestly, we need we need to keep moving. We need a lot of help, and I applaud a lot of professionals like Ninekema who always spends time educate, and we need that. We need the education.
See, I did the same thing. Thank you for being with us, Laura. We appreciate you. Nikema, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's always an honor when I have the chance to educate people. My name is Ninekema Turenne. I am your finance bestie. I am a financial educator. I am, Florida's leading mortgage broker. I've been in the industry for about 10 years now. And I'm also the CEO and founder of Not and Co. We are a wedding planning and financial planning company. What we do, we help couples plan their weddings while saving for the down payment of their home. We like to say we help you tie the knot and turn the keys to build generational wealth. You muted again.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for being with us, Nikema. So, Attorney Camilien, you want to start with the question, or should I?
I can start. I had a couple of questions. What a great idea to start the wedding planning and the down payment for a home at the same time, because so many people get caught up in the wedding planning phase and don't think about anything besides after that day. So can you give me some information, like what made you think of those two? How'd you get started in that, and just the story behind that?
Of course, of course. So I've always been, planning friends' wedding for free. Like that's the passion that I have. I love designing. I'm very creative, and I'm married, and I remember when I was married, I didn't think about the future. I only thought about that day. And I know that there are a lot of brides that they're just thinking about that day. They don't think about, okay, what's going to happen after I get married? And we all know that, finance is still the number one reason why people get divorced. And my background is in finance. I have my MBA and in global administration. I've been in banking for 10 years plus now. So, and I'm the type of girl, I like to have it all. And I decided to combine, well, I can't take all of the credit. It really was a God given idea, and I give all the glory to God, and I can merge the two, because most people after they get married, what do? They buy the house, and I'm a mortgage broker, and that's what I do. So I think it's important for us to have these conversations up front to build your financial health and have a strong foundation. Not that people are not going to have problems, but if they have a solid financial foundation at the inception of the marriage, then we can decrease the number of divorces. So that's the passion behind it. That's the reason. That's going to be my legacy, is that I help save marriages through financial education, because at the end of the day, it's all about educating couples that it's not just that the day is the legacy you leave behind. Yes, you can have a beautiful wedding, but what else would you leave behind if you have kids? So we we talk about, having properly protecting your home by having, life insurance and just, buying a house and just not put all your money into that one day because there are other days behind.
Awesome. We're getting some comments. My sister, that's me. That's my sister. I did plan her wedding. Thanks for the shout out, sis. Yes. As Daphnée mentioned, definitely it is a great concept to bring them together. And as you mentioned also, because people are not thinking about that, okay? And so in your experience, can you tell us maybe on, and then it could vary, maybe on average, once you help someone with a buying a home, I'm sorry, with the wedding, how soon do you think they get started on maybe buying a home?
So the process, it all depends on the person because, some people they might be ready right then and there, but some people it might be a 6 month plan or a year plan. But we just want to put that at their forefront of their mind is that let's start that, let's not put all of the money in that day. Let's maybe put, $10,000 towards the savings of your home, so it all depends. It could be 6 months, it could be 12 months, it could be 24 months, but at least it's just having a plan together. It's like it's a goal together as a couple that we're going to buy a home. We're not going to be renters because we know that, that's how wealth is built. Is, real estate is the fastest way any family can build their legacy, can build wealth. So by having that plan, then they can definitely make it a reality because I'm going to be their biggest, accountability partner because this is a goal that they had and we keep them accountable to reaching the goal of home ownership as a couple.
Awesome. A question for Laurie, Daphnée?
Um, Laurie,
I have, I have a question.
go ahead. Go ahead. I think for a
But
second.
All
Yeah.
right.
I think, Laurie, one of the questions that I have for you is oftentimes, so here's Ninekema is working with the couple, like planning the wedding and then talking about home ownership. And then now let's just say they're on the step of becoming a homeowner. So what is the criteria for somebody to select a real estate agent? What should they look for?
In this age that we are living in, and in real estate, there's a famous say, and I think lawyers like Daphnée, like attorney Camilien, may know about them, but it's, what is it, time is of the essence. So you do want an agent, even if they're the best, you want someone who's available for you. I don't care how good they are. If you need someone who is available for you and who can actually, be on time, be present, be, you don't need someone who's going to text you back, 2 days later. You need someone who's actually present for you, no matter how good they are. If they're not there for you, you are going to lose. You are not going to be in this market. You're going to be in this market for a long time because time is of the essence in real estate. And that would be the greatest criteria that you should always look at when selecting an agent. The second thing I would say top three would be, second thing, look for agents that are willing to educate you, to learn. I know agents that are always participating in different kind of educational programs to learn better ways to serve the client, to stay informed with what's going on in this market, because it is a crazy real estate market at the moment. So you want someone who's keeping up, updated with whatever is happening in this market. And last, you need someone with good negotiation skills. Right now, the market starts to cool down a little bit. Sellers are having an awakening moment. A lot of them are actually discouraged. A lot of houses, I'll say, in like the upper houses in the million, sellers are actually kind of, taking a little sit right now because it's not as hot as it was. But it's still competitive. Not as many, but it's still more competitive than it was before COVID. So you do need someone who can negotiate this contract for you and when, because you're still competing in this market. So I say, if you don't remember anything, the top three thing: if you call this agent and they don't answer their phone, you text them, they don't answer you, it's probably not the right person. You need someone who actually, as agents, we know to, be there for the clients, which is the most important thing.
I think those are great tips. I had a question. How often do you see like people, real estate agents asking people to sign a contract
Oh yeah, that's a
for
great
them
question.
to be their and should they do that?
Well, yes, real estate agents usually, real estate agents ask you to sign a contract as a buyer agreement. So when
Mhm.
they're going to work for you and you're the buyer, I mean, as seller, to start, the seller signs a contract. That's a no brainer. They sign a contract to start. There's no if or no. They will always sign a contract as a seller with you when they are as a listing agent when they're listing your home. But as a buyer, sometimes we don't have contracts, and it came into play when agents would show 20, 30 houses to you, and you turn around and you know just go with another agent. So agent, to protect their time, to protect their within this age, it's gas is expensive, so
The
the agent
resources.
has to put in the work. The agent has to put gas in their car. They have to schedule its time, so their time is their worth. They need to protect their time, and they need to protect the business, because being an agent is our job. Actually, we have passion for it, but it's a job. So to protect that, they came up with the buyer's agreement, the buyer's contract, where you sign a contract with the agent. There's a fee if they have a certain limited amount of time to show you to get the deal closed, and if they don't, you're out of this contract. But within that time frame, you are with that agent. And if you need to break out of that contract, there is a fee that you need to pay. And it's I think it's a win-win. Sometimes if the agent is not serving you well, you may be able to talk with the agent and get the contract rescinded, cancel the contract, if you voice that you're not satisfied with the service. But the contract is there to protect the agent, from their time, because it's a business after all. So
That's
yes, those are very common right now, because now agents have to show so many homes before they get you that home. Although it's getting slightly better now, but an agent could have shown you 10 homes. It's their time, and and money. So that's just the way to protect agents.
that's good to know. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's why we're having this conversation, because when I went through the process, I did not have to sign any contract. So I guess it's a new thing. But I do have a question for Miss Nikema, Mrs. Nikema. And then so right now, okay, for a you are a mortgage broker. So first explain to us exactly what that is. And I'm assuming you are an independent mortgage broker. And then so tell us, what is the advantage of someone working with you as an independent broker versus going to a bank and working with a mortgage loan officer?
Of course, I'll definitely elaborate a little more about that. So, I am an independent mortgage broker. So, my license is under a big mortgage brokerage company called Nexa Mortgage. We're licensed in 48 states right now. So, being independent, when you're a mortgage broker, think of us as your personal shopper, right? So, when you go to the mall, you have access to different stores, right? When you go and shop, and you don't go to the first store and you try try on something and you pick it up, right? You have options. So with when you're dealing with the mortgage broker, we do our level is at the wholesale level. So we have over 100 plus wholesale lenders. So we give you the best rates possible whenever you're dealing with the mortgage broker. And when you're going to a retail bank, when I first started in the mortgage industry, I was at a retail bank. So when you go to a retail bank, not only are you limited with loan offering, but as far as the rate, you definitely will have better rate if you go to an independent mortgage broker. And we have access to different type of loans. We go as far as loans as far as low as 500 credit scores. We have self-employed loans. We have bank statement loans, and some banks are limited in these product offerings. So you definitely, as a consumer, you just want to have better options for yourself and the better rate. So that's why it's best for you to go with an independent mortgage broker when you want to buy your home.
And also, typically, when you started, then you the independent broker and you get this amazing rate, but then a bank is later gonna go ahead and purchase that loan anyway. So you do end up getting the best of both worlds. And typically, okay.
Yeah.
And as Attorney Camilien mentioned earlier, this is basically information only. And then so what we are saying, it may not apply to your state or your situation, but then this is basically a general conversation. Um, so let's continue. You have any question, Attorney Camilien?
When you're ready, I have a question for actually both of them.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what I wanted to say is, you hear that saying representation matters. And I wanted to get both of your opinions because you're talking about real estate being such a wealth builder. And, oftentimes we've had gatekeepers in these type of real estate markets, from financing your property to even buying in certain neighborhoods. What do you guys think about that as far as like how do you get how do you get a good real estate agent? We talked about that, but should you be leery of that? Are they steering you towards certain neighborhoods because they don't look like you and they don't think that you deserve to be in there? Or if you're looking, let's say you have a property and you're looking for investment property, then you go to a real estate agent who may not think that you should have an investment property, because of what you look like. Or you go to a bank and they try to lowball you because of the color of your skin. Just that whole world and tips and I always ask people when I ask them question, what would you do if you were trying to get a property or a loan or what? Because what you tell me, you give me the political answer, and what you would do might not be the same.
Exactly. I mean, it's important to have these platforms, to have these conversations, because I got into finance because of, lack of representation, right? I want to represent my people. I want to bring the information to my people because as we all know, the Black and brown community, we have 3% of the nation's wealth. Information is not, transferred to us. So, for me, what I would do, I would definitely, if speaking to a mortgage broker or speaking to a real estate agent, they have to listen to my needs. Okay. So if I tell you I want to be in this neighborhood, you cannot give me other, homes that's not in the criteria that I want. If that's what you're going to do, then I'll fire you and get someone that has my best interest at heart. So I would say to the people who are listening, just look for the red flags. Because if you're telling this realtor you want to be in this zip code, you want to be in this neighborhood, but they're saying, oh no, you should be there. Why do you think I should be there? Just ask questions and be vocal because, whether we want to talk about it, whether we want to believe it or not, discrimination is real in mortgage and real estate. It happens, so that's what I would do for sure for me.
Yes. Yes, representation absolutely matters, and especially in real estate. As I think Attorney Camilien mentioned, or Ninekema, that real estate is the largest asset class. We have to dabble in. There's no, don't even think about it. You need to get in. And those representation matters because it happens before. It's not new. Just recently, a couple in Jacksonville um got their house appraised. The white appraiser came and appraised the house lower than it should be. They got a second opinion. Before they got the second opinion, they removed everything black from the home.
Mm.
Now it's up.
Mm.
It's what it should be. So representation matters a lot in this business because you're creating, I know we just recently, as Black, started talking about this generational wealth. Seems like this is the word of our decade as millennials, like we all talking about it. This is how they can break you within one simple transaction. Imagine your home is not appraised, from 200 to 300. This is $100,000 of wealth that you could absorb in just a simple paper because the appraiser said so. And the appraiser do not have our best interest in heart. And it shows because this is in our book. We in the real estate book, I'm pretty sure in the brokerage, in the broker book, it talks about steering. It talks about,
Yes.
you know, telling, oh no, I don't think this neighborhood is good for you. That's why it's important to have us working for us because we see the best interest of us at heart. Because I am a die-hard Haitian. You can't tell me nothing. I'm all about Haitian. I just want to see our Haitian progress. So I'm going to see the best interest of my people. I'm going to push it, give it more than I should because now it's more than me. I'm putting myself as a, what is the word? Not a patriot, but as a combatant. Those people. I'm at this point. If you're not at this mindset, fighting for a bigger cause than you, it's like people say, it seems like it's work when it should be fun every day. So that's why representation matters a lot. It matters so much.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies, for answering this question. It's really needed. We have a shout out to Colleen Mazard. She said, "Yes, you are, and I love you for that." I think that's a
Hi, Tara.
and connection with you saying you are all for Haitian and you are combatant. Colleen is actually a title company owner. So we'll have her with us next week to let us know about what that is, what that entails, and how she come to be a title company owner. And my sister say yes, Laurie, she's in agreement with you. She say, I guess she say yes, we are fighters. We have to fight.
Yeah.
And she said, hello, thank you. So, to all of you who are watching, this is live in conversation with Attorney Camilien and I. We come live every Wednesday to share current immigration news, legal news, and also focus on a topic that we can share information to help families and businesses thrive. And as you can see, we have two experts with us this evening with regard to being a real estate agent and a mortgage broker. And so come on and share your extra questions. We have people who are well educated who can answer your questions for you. So Nikema, I think that question is to you both. So oftentimes, a person goes and get approved for a loan, okay? And then help us to differentiate when a person get approved for a loan, how can they differentiate what they actually can afford? Because typically, the loan amount that you get, you may not actually be able to afford that whole loan. So tell us, for somebody who's watching right now, how to decide how much to borrow.
Of course. So, me, as you know, that, I don't just do mortgages. I am a finance educators. So, I never put anyone in a home, without knowing if you can afford it. Even if I always tell my clients, even if you're approved, let's just say for $500,000, if you're not going to be able to sustain that mortgage payment, you should not buy a home for $500,000. So it's important for, people to look at their budget and see, what's possible. Are you after, just like, wedding planning, right? So after you get married, are you going to be able to eat? So after you buy this house, are you going to be able to pay it the following month? Yes, you get 30 days where you don't pay, but the month after, are you really going to be able to, pay that house? So I think it's important for people to budget. A lot of us, especially, Haitian people, I'm Haitian, we don't understand what that even means. So it's important for anyone that's buying a house to have a budget. After all of your bills, can you pay, just $2,000 mortgage payment, $1,000 mortgage payment? Can you pay it? Even if you qualify for it on paper, but realistically, because your finances more than I do, can you pay for it?
Thank you for answering that, because I've helped people in that situation where they get approved for an amount, and then I'm like, no, let's break down your budget,
Yes.
so you can see exactly if you can afford it, because oftentimes people think home ownership is the mortgage, and it's so much more than that.
Mhm.
So Laurie, maybe talk to us about how do you speak with your clients, or how do you advise your clients when it comes to looking at maybe a single family home, or maybe talking about maybe having maybe a multi-unit or a duplex, and so how does that conversation go?
Um, for single family home, I have one rule. Your mortgage should not be no more than 30% of your income, of your monthly income, net income. And when I said that in a forum, and people, 30%, that's impossible. So you're telling me if I make 2,000 a month, it should, yeah, that's what it should be. Yeah.
Net.
If it, yeah, that's all. Because you don't have just your home. One of the main things that I'm trying to fight against is having our people purchase a home and stop there. You
Mhm.
purchase your home, but the next year invest in real estate. The 2 years after, but we're not gonna stop with just the home. But if you buy the home above your means and you have no way of saving, that's when you get stuck in that loop and you can't move out, because each time you get paid, all of your money goes into one thing and you don't have anything left over to do anything else. Now for investors, it's different, because investors, we look at the income of the property income. But for home buyers, the home you're living in, if you're not, buying a duplex to live on one side and someone else living on the other side helping you with the payment, that payment should not be no more than 30% of your net monthly income. Simple, point blank.
So net is what you remain after all the deduction and all the
Yeah,
taxes,
after
Yeah,
taxes.
insurance,
net,
after
net
all the
after
401k,
taxes.
the net, okay?
Not gross, okay? She's not
Not gross.
into the gross. What they deposit in your bank account.
Yes,
That's what we're talking
Exactly.
about.
we can't
Exactly.
count
Thank
what
you for
Uncle
mentioning
Sam
that.
is taking. No, we can't count that. Can we count the taxes? They don't come in our pocket. You can don't count your 401k. If money comes out, oh, don't count that. Whatever comes in that bank account that you can actually, use,
Mhm.
count that. Because if you're gonna count money you don't even have, I don't know what bite it to see.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
to agree with you. That's a great strategy, and people should definitely keep that in mind. And, that's why people are stressed out because they get into these, homes, they cannot afford them. Because I always tell my clients, big disclaimer, the one thing that I'm not going to do is put you in a house and then you get foreclosed on, And when you're talking to your family and you're going through that whole, process, they're going to ask you, who was your mortgage broker? Who was your loan person? And you guys said it was Ninekema. I said, no, 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 no. That's not going to happen. Okay. You're not going to put me in it. I never did this. So that's why I make sure that you can pay this house. If you got a 30-year mortgage, 15-year, however long, that, we can have you pay. And I also, another good tip I tell couples is that when you're buying your house, be sure that one income can sustain that payment, right? So we don't want to go into the transaction that both of our income have to, pay this mortgage payment. What if one of us becomes sick? We don't know what could happen, so it's important to have that plan and say, one income can pay this mortgage.
That's a great tip. You have a question, Tony Camilien? I think you were about to say something, and
I had actually a couple questions.
what?
Let me go back to what you were saying, Laurie, about your goal is to not just have someone purchase one property, but to go ahead, and to keep going from there. What would you suggest be like a good strategy? Like every 2 years, how much is a good down payment? Don't they ask for 25% down? And isn't that a lot of money? Uh, of buying, some type of, because it's
Yeah,
expensive
I
to
agree. When I
invest.
say to not stop, I don't mean to buy a property every year. Many of us can't afford that. What I mean by to do not stop, I mean you purchase your home today, invest $50 in REITs every month after that until you can, on put while you're investing 50 a month, you're saving 200 every month. When
And
the 200 gets to a decent down deposit, because for investors it could be a little more, then not everybody wants to be a landlord. That's one thing I learned the hard way, because I would push that to people, like, buy a house, long term you'll make. Not everyone wants to be a landlord, and in real estate there are so many ways to invest. So when I say to not buying another house, many of us, because the payments, Nikema would, can explain that. But those, they would look at your income to qualify you for a mortgage. So you cannot really have 10 and your income, unless you're using an investor's loan to qualify. So what I mean by that is figure out other ways to invest in real estate and keep doing that slowly over a long period of time. Like, we tend to believe that it has to happen right away, but when we're planning our retirement, it usually over a course of 30-35 years. So let's say you buy your home today, you close on this home today. Find a way to have $50 invested in a REIT. A REIT is a real estate investment trust. These are companies that invest in real estate, and you, in your turn, can own a small piece of it. And you can do this with whatever you want: 50, 25, 10, 5. So it doesn't have to be big. It can be a small amount. And you make sure that consistently you invest that over a long period of time, and watch it gain dividends. Watch it gain, what is the word that I'm looking for, Nikema? When your money multiplies,
Residual
compound income.
income,
compounding
compound, yeah.
interest. Exactly. Watch that compounding interest work in your benefit. So that's what I mean by don't stop. Like, just keep going. If you don't want to be a landlord, it's okay. It's really not for everyone. Although now we have management companies that can take over the whole burden for a fee, usually not that small. So, but like, there are two people are doing Airbnbs now. Maybe that's something you can do and have a management company do it. Or maybe you can do short term. Maybe you just want to lend somebody your money. Just lend the money to those hard lending money people and wait for an interest 9 months later. Usually they're short term. Or maybe you just want to invest in buildings with other people. Do that, but don't just stop and just buy a home and say, that's it, I'm done. This is my real estate portfolio. I'm done. I'm going to sit it right there. So
So
that's one thing we want to break from our community, because at least the older generation, they are stuck on that right now. And I know the younger ones, with Robinhood, we tend to do a little more. But that's what I mean by, to do a little more.
So my second part of that would be even to go back, because this is for you, Nakema and Laurie. So
Okay.
what about the person, because you had said 30%, right? You said $2,000, right? That's $600 a month, right? So if your net is 2,000 and it's 600 a month, now someone comes to you, Nakema, with your mortgage hat, but also with your financial planner hat, and they're like, "This is what I make. This is all I make," and they're coming to you, Laurie, and you're like, "Okay, well, what kind of home can they get for $600? I don't know what that is, 100,000 or under 100 grand for a property where, in a good neighborhood, because that's a key. Not your face is like,
Yeah.
get you something. No, I said in a good neighborhood. Okay. So now, what do they do? Like this is their dream, is to buy a home. This is the reality, is this $2,000, which is like, I don't think that's unrealistic for most people. 24K a year net. I think that's probably pretty common for. So what do you think? Like, what would your financial planner hat say? What should they do? Or Laurie say, I got someplace for you. What should both of you? What do you think?
I mean, to me, I always tell, people, your first home is not going to be your dream home, right? I would much rather of course, we're not going to put you in a very bad neighborhood. Lori, as the realtor, we will never put you in a place where you're not going to be safe. But, the home that you could possibly afford right now may not be the ideal place for you, or the dream place for you. Like, I want a multi-million dollar home, right? But it's not ideal right now. And because I go by the Finance Bestie, I'm truly your friend. We keep it real, like, we're real here. You have to look at your reality, all right? Because we would much rather you have this home and be able to pay this mortgage, instead of you doing something that you're not going to be able to be in the next 6 months, right? So these are conversations that we have up front, as your friend, as your mortgage lender, and realize, okay, on paper, this is what's real for you. This is what you can afford. Yes, $2,000 more mortgage can give you the house that you really want, but you may not be able to eat anything. You can just be in this house. You can even afford to buy water. Is that the lifestyle that you truly want? So it's important to just be real with people and just educate them and be the biggest advocate and tell them, okay, this is what you need to do right now.
Laurie, you gonna put me in the hood?
Good, Lori.
I
Close
will
to the
never.
hood.
But
Help us
I
out,
will
Laurie.
not feel comfortable. I will not feel comfortable knowing that you're gonna be struggling. I mean, I know
Yes.
we all want beautiful homes, but we can you can work to, like, for example, right now, I had a convo with some New York realtors, and they said, buying multifamily along with other family members is something we don't do in our community because we tend to be afraid to invest with each other. Um, that's one thing that's working for them, because then now they have three people paying the mortgage. And because in New York, I think they have a basement, and then they have, multiple floors. So they're able to afford the mortgage. In Florida, I would say, get yourself a duplex. Do this house hacking that everybody's talking about. It works because you have half of your mortgage or more paid by someone else. So you're able to afford that. And, 5 years later, sell that and use the equity and buy the dream. And in the meantime, you're getting more income, a better job, more income. You have that money there. It doesn't have to happen now. These are things you can work towards. Yeah, just I would do house hacking is one of the things that I am pushing right now. House hacking is life. If you're even if you're married, get a duplex, rent one side, and live
Mhm.
on the other side, and see the wonders that would do to your expenses. Imagine someone else paying the mortgage for you. There are so many nice duplexes in Florida, especially in Southwest Florida. New ones, you would not know you're in a duplex. Very nice, two-car garage duplexes. It's a mini home. So take advantage of these things. They're not unattainable. No, they're there for everybody to take advantage. And I remember once helping an 18-year-old get, they had those, how do you call those trailer homes, but
Mm-hmm.
very high quality. You won't even know they're made out of a trailer because they're high tech. They're in, regular, they're not in a trailer park. They're in a neighborhood where they bought a land. He's 18. He was buying his own home. Like, I don't know any 18-year-old. I know Naikima did very early purchasing her home, but not all of us had that chance and had the knowledge,
Or the mindset.
Yes,
mindset.
mindset is important.
So
Yes.
I would say to afford it, to not live in the hood, just just think outside the box, right? Like, just give it a little more thought. Talk to other people. Talk to people in the field. But house hacking will, kind of steer you towards the right path instead of, the hood.
Yeah.
Because then you will be able to afford it. Then you have that income
Eventually.
from the duplex.
And
Yeah.
So
so I just want to actually, I have a question for you, Nike. Go
Mhm.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna piggyback and say it's all about affordability. We just want you to be able to afford it. We want to make sure that I'm not getting a call and say, "Oh, I can't afford to pay my mortgage payment." Like that will just crush my heart that you cannot afford to pay your mortgage payment. Then I'm thinking about, okay, where are you gonna live? So we just want you to be able to, to stay in the home.
Oh wow, I was enjoying the conversation so much. I was not paying attention to the time.
Oh my God, we went over. Conversation
Thank
is
you to
so
all of you who
good.
joining. My last question was, it wasn't even a question. I think it was a comment, because sometimes people think that, okay, like, let's start with a condo, and then from the condo then go to either the duplex or the single family home. But oftentimes people feel like, well, if it's a condo, then it's not really a home. And then, so also my question to you, Nakima, would you say it's easier to get a loan for a duplex versus a single family? Because the duplex technically should be generating you income to be able to pay for it. And so, and then again, this is just conversation, not
Of
like a
course, of
straight yes
course.
or no answer.
Yeah, so one is not harder than the other because it all depends on how much you qualify for. The process will be the same. Let's just say you going with a conventional loan or you going with an FHA loan. I know time doesn't permit me to go into detail. We might have to have another
Yeah, we'll have
conversation
to.
and then we can detail about loan products and so forth. But no, one is not harder than the other really. If you want to go and buy a single family or get a duplex, the process will be the same really. It all depends on the person preference, or as far as that, when it comes to affordability, it may be better for you to get a duplex because we can use that future income to be able, if someone was buying a single family and duplex, it's probably higher where they couldn't probably qualify for that duplex, but having that income, that the rental income from that duplex, then they could qualify for the duplex instead of the single family. So if you're in Florida, you want to buy a home, you just need to hit me up because I'm only currently licensed in Florida, but my company again is licensed in 48 states. Even if I'm not able to help you, I have access to other loan officer besties who can help you. My number is 305-834-8863. You can connect with me, you can text me, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Ninekema Turenne. And we can have, these conversations later.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Uh, Daphnée, do you want to add anything before I basically share this lady's information
I
and
was just
how we
about
can
to say, what's that
go and
number again?
connect with them?
Yep.
Yes.
It's 305
Yep.
83
834.
8863.
Laurie knows this number by heart.
By heart. Just like I know Daphne's number by heart.
Yes,
So people
Two.
gotta know your number.
does.
I love it. I love it. My brother lives in Florida, so I'll be sure to pass your information along.
And
Yes,
you have your
definitely.
website,
Yes.
financiallegacies.com.
Yeah,
Financing,
financing.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
financinglegacies.com. So if you go on my website, you can definitely get more information. I know Attorney Daphnée mentioned this. I just want to say really quickly, if you are an investor, you don't need 25% down. You can actually get into a loan product with as low as 15% down. Okay, as an investor, even if you're a first time investor, this product is available to you. So be sure to reach out to me. That's the beauty of working with the mortgage broker, because we have access to these programs where it's not the 25%. You can be an investor and get into a product as 15% down.
Ooh.
And let's have the number again, 305
834
834
8863.
8863. All
You,
And
right.
it's financing legacies, plural. So I'll put it in the chat so that way
Oh,
you
like
can update it. You can
finance.
yeah, you can go on my
Like
website.
legacies? No?
Yes, got it. Thank you so
This
much.
is good?
Yes,
Yeah?
thank you.
Okay, awesome. And then 305 834 8863. How
Yes.
about you, Mrs. Joseph? How can we contact you?
Um,
Where
it's
can we find you?
you can find me everywhere. So HaitianRealty.com, and on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's Haitian Realty. And my number is 786
One more time, please.
786. I was going to type. Oh, 395 3897. Reach out to me. Let's have a talk. Let's get you going. Let's have a plan.
Yes.
Yes, we need a plan. Thank you so much, ladies, for being with us this evening. And Nakima, we're going to have to bring you back
Thank
so that
you.
you can explain to us the different type of loans,
Mhm.
what is better for first-time home buyers, because we can decide to be a first-time home buyer with a single family, or we can be a first-time home buyer with a duplex. So there are different advantages. There are many different programs that people do not know about.
Yes.
Last week, I mentioned the Illinois housing program where they are giving grants. Yep, I was right about to go there. What about grants? So we're going to have to bring Nikema back, and we can answer those questions. But for those of us in Illinois, you can visit idha.org, and you will find the different grants available to us who are in Illinois. And I'm sure Nikema will let us know about Florida
Yes.
when we bring her back. Anything you want to add, Tony Camilien, before we wrap up?
no, just thank you so much, ladies, for coming on tonight. It was a great discussion.
Yes, it was.
Thank
Thank
you for
Yes, it
having
was.
us. Thank you for having this platform. I know it's not easy to be consistently coming every, Wednesday and be faithful. So thank you for your hard work and what you're doing in the community. It's well needed.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you, Nikema. Thank you, Laurie. And all of you know that Attorney Chameleon is here to serve us. She practices nationwide. And so if you or someone you know may need her service, you can reach out to her by going to chameleonlaw.com or call her at 847-410-9022. 847-410-9022. As she mentioned earlier, the deadline for TPS for those of us in the Haitian community is February 2023. So get to it. Do not delay. There is a backlog, but go ahead and reach out to her if you need assistance. That's it for today. Shout out to my husband, James Antoine. So if you're in the Chicagoland area and you need transportation, he has a van. So if you need to move anything, you need to pick up anything, reach out to me or to him, and he will serve you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Next
you.
week,
Have a good night.
have a good
you.
night.
Bye
Next week,
bye.
we'll be with Colin Mazard. owner of a title company. And
Well,
maybe the following week, maybe we can have Ninekema back. I guess we'll talk about that.
Yeah, just hit me up. Let's see.
Okay. All right, all right. Bye for now, ladies. A
Have a
pleasure.
good night. Bye
Good
bye.
night. Oh, I think we had. Yep. All right. I need to end.